I'm generally, Matt, not somebody. I've been such a passive quarterback drafter for years. But because Burrow won't be the first quarterback off the board in any league, but he can easily be the quarterback one. I might break my rules. I might actually have a different shade to my draft strategy, because getting Burrow and hopefully attached to one of his three musketeers, because Brown catches enough passes that's a link. And obviously you'd want either receiver. You probably need the first or second pick in your draft to get Chase. But Burrow is somebody who's forcing me to reevaluate my quarterback strategy, something that I've been doing the same thing for such a long time, but I think he's worth a conversation there.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't found myself drafting into or like ranking Joe Burrow in the same tier of guys like Allen, Jackson, and Jayden Daniels. I think there's a clear separation with those guys just because they bring the rushing advantage. Yeah. Okay. Well,
sure.
just because they bring the rushing advantage, I think we're all on an agreement of that. But to me, I do think, and this is more of a structural kind of tangent and something I'm still sort of working out in my head, but I just look at like just even past quarterback 10 in early best ball ADP, there's Brock Purdy, there's Justin Fields, there's, pocket passers, that are very interesting, like the Justin Herberts, the Dak Prescotts, that I think there are scenarios. I don't know how likely or how many multiverses that really exist where this is going to happen, but I think there are scenarios where guys like Herbert and Dak Prescott, maybe even Jordan Love, if some of those young receivers take a leap, or Matthew Golden hits the ground running, where they can put up passing production kind of in the same ballpark, maybe like a 90% arbitrage version of what Joe Burrow can give you. And then even beyond that, there's Drake Maye in the late rounds. Like there's some interesting second-year quarterbacks. So to me, Scott, I've for no reason it's not Joe Burrow's fault, or even Jalen Hurts, I think, or Patrick Mahomes I'd put in this group too. Even Baker Mayfield at QB7. We're going to talk about the Bucs in this segment later on. I just haven't found myself gravitating to that group of quarterbacks because I think range of outcomes wise, there's so many interesting guys, like I said, past quarterback 10 in early drafts.
Right. For years, I've been using the analogy that the quarterback position in fantasy football is like the public transit system in New York. You miss a train, you catch another one in 5 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. There's just no reason to be stressed about it because there's more supply than the demand, requires. So why should you even get involved in somebody early? But that said, Burrow, the fact that he can be a tier 2 quarterback drafted, and I could easily see him being in the first tier when the season ends, and he's not going to run that much. He'll sprinkle in a little bit of running. It's not going to be a big part of his game, but And yet you mentioned some of these quarterbacks. I mean, Justin Fields has been the player maybe I've been most excited to draft this year because I think he's going to run for 1,000 yards. And we know that's, Rich Rebar told us what a cheat code that is. And also I want to mention, this is no place in this show really, but just such a cool stat I want to mention. You mentioned Jordan Love. Did you know nobody on the Packers has had more than 100 targets since Davante Adams left town? And last year, nobody on the team got to 80. I think maybe there's just no right answer in the Green Bay receiver room because they love platooning so much more than maybe any other team. As much as I love the coach there, LaFleur, and Love's a good player. He was hurt last year. You give him a pass for that. But I wonder if maybe the receivers are a dead end there. But quarterback you tell people when they start fantasy, the NFL is all about the quarterback. Fantasy football is not all about the quarterback because you don't have to proactively draft it. People think, oh, Josh Allen, he should be my first pick, right? Or Mahomes should be my first pick, or Lamar Jackson should be my first pick, or whatever. It's like, no, that's absolutely not. That's not how the game is backwards that way. But I'm wondering if I've gotten so relaxed drafting quarterbacks on a budget that I wonder if I'm missing opportunities for guys who, if Burrow is drafted as quarterback 6 and finishes quarterback 1, he still smashes ADP. It's just in a different frame. We're all looking for that quarterback 18 who can be quarterback 5, and those guys happen every year. But who's to say that you go from 6 to 1 that isn't just as much an impactful move?
True. No, I can't argue with that. I think we have a lot of time over the offseason to kind of parse out these quarterback rankings and the way the position looks right now.